In the early 1760s, tensions began to rise between the colonists and those remaining loyal to the British. This occurred as a result of several actions by the British. The proclamation of 1763 that restricted movement of the colonists was resented. The colonists also did not like the fact that the British were controlling the colonial legislatures and that they did not have representation in Parliament. They also resented the power of colonial governors and the taxes that were levied on them to offset the cost of the French and Indian War. The British sent soldiers to the colonies to keep order, especially to Massachusetts, where there had been a lot of unrest. The soldiers were sent to help the enforcement of the Townshend Acts, and in 1768 there were 4,000 British troops in Boston, when the population of Boston was only 20,000. One night on March 5th, 1770, this tension ended up in an incident now called the Boston Massacre. There are numerous accounts of what happened that night as a result of the incident. 5 civilians dead. 3 died that night, 2 others died later. The people who died, we will meet and hear about today.
All rise.
All please be seated. Today we will hear the case of the 9 British soldiers raided the colony of Massachusetts for the murder and attempted murder of the following: Mr. Samuel Gray, killed on the spot by a ball entering his head. Crispus Attucks. A mallet, killed on the spot, 2 balls entering his breast. Mr. James Caldwell, killed on the spot by 2 balls entering his back. Mr. Samuel Maverick, a youth of 17 years of age, mortally wounded. He died the next morning. Mr. Patrick Cardinal Talbot, wounded. He died the 14th instant. Christopher Monk and John Clark, youths about 17 years of age, dangerously wounded. It is happening they will die. Mr. Edward Payne, merchant standing at his door, wounded. John Green, Robert Patterson, and David Parker, all dangerously wounded. And this prosecution, you can state your claim.
During this tragic event, there were 5 males killed. 6 innocent people were injured. Out of 200 people, 11 were hurt. 11 people were hurt that night. And so claimed the British soldiers were supposed to keep everything in check. They just injured citizens.
Objection, too close to my face.
No further.
People of the jury, wherever. On March 5th, 1770, Captain Preston was part of a massacre where his men were shooting, claiming to be defending themselves here. Oh, they're here now to defend their lives. Crispus Attucks has apparently indicated the people to riot, claiming only Captain Preston to shoot for the pass.
Prosecution is, you may.
I'd like to call Samuel Brown to the witness stand.
Mr. Samuel Jeremiah. Is it true you saw citizens with only sticks in their hands instead of rockets? And when you saw the group of soldiers, what were your first thoughts?
That on the middle of the task.
No further questions.
Where were you when they started shooting?
I was on my doorstep in Cornwall.
Where?
In Cornwall.
Your doorstep. How far did the shooting occur away from your doorstep?
That is undetermined.
But you saw the shooting. How is it undetermined if you saw the shooting? You don't know how far you were from the shooting if you saw the shooting? Judge, no further questions.
Nothing further with this witness.
Judge, no more questions, please. Thank you. Again, why did the soldiers shoot?
Because they were being harassed.
Because
being
they were being what?
provoked.
Say that loud and clear to the whole.
They were provoked.
They were provoked. Did you see Captain Preston tell his men to fire? No. Did you hear the people in the crowd chanting fire?
Yes.
Yeah. So you think the soldiers, since it was approximately over 200 people they claimed there, wouldn't you think the soldiers would think Captain Preston told them to fire?
Yes.
Thank you for your time. No further questions, Your Honor.
I call Captain Thomas Preston to the stand.
Please rest the soldiers of your one and true son, God.
When your men fired, did you tell them to?
No.
Where were you before your men fired?
Stuff was not happening.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Captain Preston, you were standing in the position you were supposed to, correct? And why did your men decide to fire without your order?
I have no idea.
No further questions.
Mr. Thomas Preston. How much people would you say was there that evening?
Objection, he's too close to the witness.
This is my witness. About how many people was there that night, Mr. Preston?
200.
Okay. So where were you standing again?
In front of my man.
So Why do you think your men fired?
There's a possibility it might have been out of panic, or somebody must have fired a shot from somewhere.
Okay. Do you think if it was 200 people there, once again, Mr. Preston, do you think if your men heard fire, fire, they wouldn't think it was you if it was a lot of people there and a lot of noise was coming?
There is a possibility, yes.
Okay. Do you think your men would have a reason to fire?
Yes.
What made that reason be?
They were throwing many objects, not snowballs, actually balls of ice. Not only that, they were throwing buckets, sticks.
Did at any time a stone come in?
Yes. One of my men was straight.
I will now move to my evidence. Evidence number 56. I have a stone here that was occurred and picked up at the scene. As you can see, this is a stone that came in at the men. Judge, look at this object. Look at this, Judge. Look at it. If you was out there, Judge, put yourself in that predicament. If you was out there, something like this came at you. Right there. Just touch it, Judge. You feel the pain that's over you feel, Judge? Thank you, Mr. Preston. No further questions.
So, you said that these stones were found at the scene, correct?
Yes.
But don't you know that stones are found everywhere? You could have just picked this up from anywhere. Objection. What does that have to do with anything?
Stay.
All we had, was snowballs. They had
Objection.
muskets.
Objection, Judge. She said we. She is a lawyer. Why would she be there? Obviously, she was on
Or
their
the
side.
citizens.
She was on their side, Judge.
This has to do with my witnesses being innocent. Stones can be found anywhere in the world.
Objection.
Your Honor, I rest.
That was at the crime
I
scene.
have nothing further. Your Honor, if stones can be found anywhere, doesn't that only prove that the crowd could have thrown the stones at Captain Preston and his men?
One more word out of you, and you'll be sent out.
Your Honor, the fact that you could find a stone at, this lovely lawyer's house does not differ from the fact that someone could find a stone in any other place and throw it at these soldiers. So, what was your name? So yeah. Thank you.
The prosecution, you have another witness.
Yes. May I call Master Adams to the stand?
You said it's
Objection. We didn't state our claim yet.
There were no.
You guys never said he was turning it over.
I said
Order in the court. What is this?
Your Honor, who has the floor? Prosecution never finished.
You took too long. You finished.
Mr. Adam, okay, Mr. Matthew. Can you say again what you told the prosecutor?
On the street, there were two soldiers, and I saw the citizens instigating in those
Sticks, right? Apparently the prosecutor thinks sticks and stones make a difference. No! They both break your bones, and you will cry. Alright? My assistant here will complete the floor.
Is this the same laptop or something? Because it is making me mad. Like, so, Mr. Matthew. Where were you when the shooting occurred? In the middle of the street to the left of the soldiers. And that's a very good definition. Description. That description is nice. Okay. So, why did the soldiers shoot? Can you speak a little bit louder for me?
Because they were being instigated and they were getting hit.
They were getting hit by the citizens with what? Okay. So once again, this stick here.
Don't get a splinter.
Do you see how deadly this can be? It's even heavy for me to pick up. Do you know what this could do to soldiers with guns? They get agitated, ready to defend themselves. Self-defense is my claim. Self-defense. Do you think soldiers acted in self-defense?
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions.
No. But you didn't finish?
Matthew Adams, when you witnessed this happening, were you involved in it? If you weren't, then why did you try to stop it?
Because it was too much. More things happening.
What's further with this witness, Your Honor?
You would like to call
We'd like to call Jeffrey Richardson.
Would you guys like to go first?
No, we'll start.
You seem a little bit nervous out here, shaking and smiling. You look a little bit nervous, just shaking. Just shaking. Why are you here today? Clarify that for me. He was one of the witnesses where? Speak up. No need to be
We're
scared.
just trying to make sure you were there and not somewhere else.
I was with the crowd.
You was with the crowd. You look a little bit nervous still. Speak louder.
I was with the crowd.
You was with the crowd. Were you one of the people with the crowd that was throwing stuff at the soldiers?
No,
You were.
no, I wasn't.
Did you see anybody throwing anything at the soldiers?
Yes.
Speak. Say that
Yes.
again.
Yes.
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 What did you see getting thrown?
You said stones too.
You said what?
Stones or
Say
sticks.
it a little bit.
Sticks or stones. Sticks.
Sticks and stones.
Yes.
Sticks and stones.
Yeah.
So clearly the jury, I don't know if I can speak to you, but this is like the third witness that agreed with the evidence I have brought here. In the
We're
stone,
thrown at the
that
president
was
and
thrown
soldiers.
at the soldiers. Do you think the soldiers acted in self-defense?
No.
Why?
Because they fired so many times.
Why do you think they fired Mr. Richardson? You believe they started the riot?
No, they just wanted to shoot also.
You seem a
So
little bit
you're-
nervous still.
So you believe that Captain Preston and his soldiers just started shooting for good fun? For no reason other than to shoot their guns. Is that correct?
No.
Then can you maybe think of a reason why they would start shooting?
Self-defense.
Self-defense.
You heard it yourself, Cameron.
Self-defense. Did you hear Captain Thomas Preston tell the man to fire?
No.
And if you were in the crowd, did you hear people screaming fire?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. I rest my claim. No further questions.
You've seen about 9 to 12 soldiers, correct?
Yes. Those 8 to 10.
What did the soldiers ask the rope makers?
They were challenging the rope makers also too. They were also challenging the rope makers.
I'm sorry?
They were also challenging the rope makers.
Oh my God. Challenging the rope makers.
Too close to my face, Your Honor.
I pass this on to my partner.
Mr. Richardson, you were minding your own business when the soldiers approached, correct? And what were your intentions after they assaulted you?
My intentions were to just mind my own business for now since I don't want to be getting any more trouble.
Any further questions?
And Your Honor, can I see facts? Thank you. So you just told the prosecution that the soldiers assaulted you,
I didn't say
correct?
they assaulted me.
You are being filmed. And I clearly know if we run this back, it can hear you say yes when they ask you if the soldiers assaulted you. Did the soldiers assault you?
No. Well, yeah.
Didn't you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God? You're confused?
You stop this question because
Your Honor?
He's pressuring my client. Objection, no guilty.
Were you paid to come here?
no,
You were.
no.
Judge, if I can get the floor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Richardson, you told the prosecution that you just wanted to mind your own business, correct? Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so you clearly heard Captain Preston challenge, or his soldiers rather challenge the road makers. But you were minding your own business.
Yeah.
So while minding your own business, you just happened to hear soldiers challenge the road makers. What did the road makers do?
Well, they didn't really do anything. They were still in their things. They were just trying to ignore them. The soldiers.
They were trying to ignore the soldiers.
Yeah.
Right. Then why? Just maybe give us an idea why would the soldiers challenge them? You don't know.
No.
Maybe you don't know because you're minding your own business and you weren't thinking twice about the whole idea. You know it was a massacre, right? Your Honor, I believe Mr. Richardson was probably intoxicated while the whole idea was going on. I further believe that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Thank you. That was
Judge, I will come at you. My final word is I believe, once again, right, you was in the crowd with people that was harassed, right? Okay. So at the scene, we occurred a few beer bottles. Okay. There was plenty of them. And I believe you was probably intoxicated. Don't remember what you saw. And these were also thrown at the soldiers. At any time you didn't see any of these thrown, or did you throw yours? You didn't see any thrown? Not really, not really. Not really. Thank you.
If I may,
I'll rest my case.
you have seen this photo before, correct? Yes, because there were computers in the state. And that photo clearly shows that the soldiers shot first. Objection, Your Honor, that photo was clearly drawn by the citizen. Like I was saying. So, is that what you saw when you was there? Yeah.
Objection, if you saw someone's blood, why would you stay?
Order in the court. One more word after you and you leave.
That's exactly what you saw, correct? So, we have about 3 witnesses that most likely have seen that exact photo. It has nothing further. Mr. Richardson, can you say that again? What did you saw exactly?
What did you see, Mr. Richardson?
Exactly as you
You have to
said.
stand up.
You said you saw that photo exactly? Exactly as you saw the photo she showed. Which, by the way, was drawn because we don't have cameras in this time of age. Okay, so minding your own business, you saw that exactly while intoxicated. Interesting. People of the jury, for my closing statement. We order his soldiers to shoot. Christmas Atticus has made the riot. Captain Preston only shot in
Good morning,
defense
Eastside
for his
South.
life, and his soldiers do
Today
the
is
same
Tuesday,
thing.
January 5th, 2016. Will everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. The prosecution's closing statement is proving the colonists are innocent at this point. On our behalf, we have noticed, you have noticed, that every witness has seen something different. But most of the witnesses have seen that it was the soldiers who started the entire thing. The witnesses saw that the soldiers were defending themselves.
Isn't this a closing statement, Your Honor? Why is she still on the situation that already
Bringing up the evidence again, we have sticks and snowballs and what you claim to be rocks versus muskets that can stab and shoot.
wasn't that just your statement?
Your Honor, they did not fire their muskets.
Counselors at college will be meeting today after school in
Captain Thomas
Please stand on
Preston
attending.
was supposed to have
There
control
will
of
be
his
student council
men.
meeting on Friday, January
But he did
8th,
not.
2016
I rest
at
my case.
7:40 a.m. in the library. Please try to
Did the
attend.
defense rest?
Now here's Dr. Santos.
Did the prosecution rest?
Yes.
I will now take a moment.
Thank you, Natalie. And good morning, Eastside High School. Welcome to another.
And we'll
great
find out
year
his
at Eastside
decision
as we celebrate
in just one moment.
the new year, 2016. And we begin to set new goals, New Year's resolutions, aspirations. How many of you know who Robert Browning was? He was a great English poet who lived in the 19th century. Despite many failures along the way, remember, failure is a road to success. He kept writing and eventually became a successful poet. Robert Browning didn't let his failure stop him. Actually, he failed forward. Instead, he kept aiming for the new successes and new possibilities. And listen to these words from Mr. Browning. Our aspirations are our possibilities. In other words, he's saying that when we aim for in life becomes a possibility in life. For example, it is possible for you to become a doctor. Well, maybe yes, maybe no. But one thing is for certain, you will never become a doctor unless you aim